Our project today is a little bit of a two-parter. We are going to be making a background filled with flowers, and we are going to make a springtime cute little bunny. So here's my background paper for the flowers, and then I'm going to use a different paper for our bunny. I'm going to start off with a couple shades of green to have those ready. If you only have one shade of green, then that's totally okay. And I'm gonna pick some colors that I want to make flowers with, just so I don't have to think about it and I can just grab some really quick. Okay, so I'm gonna start by making flowers all over my paper, and you can use different colors than me. It does not have to be the same. I just grabbed what I have set out. So I'm gonna start with this goldenrod yellow. It's kind of like a gold color. I'm going to make a circle over here and color it in. Maybe I'll make a circle over here, color it in, make one over here. Then I'll set that to the side. Maybe I'll pick a different color. I'm going to take this Purple Mountains Majesty color and do one here. And this is just the center of our flowers, and I'm getting these done. That way I know that my paper is going to be filled up with flowers. Then maybe I will take this lavender. Looks more like a pink, so we'll see. Yeah, it's like a pinkish color. And put some more around my paper. And I can put them close to the edge too, because we can have petals that look like they're going off. I'm gonna put one of these goldenrod colors down here too. Okay, I think that's good for now. If I come back to it and think that I want some more, maybe I'll go ahead and add some more. I'm going to use my yellow to make some petals with my goldenrod, and then you can really see the difference between the colors. And if you only have one color of yellow, you could make the center darker and then the petals lighter. I'm gonna color those in. And I'm just gonna show you a couple different kinds of petals you can use, and then I'll show you how to make some stems so we can move on to our sheep. But just know that you should be filling your background with as many flowers as you can. And I said sheep, I meant bunny, because when we make our bunny, the bunny's gonna be overlapping, so you wanna make sure that you'll still have plenty of flowers to be able to see once we have our bunny. So I did a yellow one with just regular curved shapes, kind of like a rainbow shape, but long and skinny. I'm gonna take the salmon pink color, and I'm gonna do that with the lavender pink that I used. And I'm going to do the same kind of petal, but shorter. So it's almost like a circle, and I'm gonna keep going around with that. And then with that, I'm gonna add this marvelous mauve-y pink color, and I'm gonna add some triangles in between each petal to make it a little bit different. I can zoom us in a little bit so we can see these better. And we color those in. And I'll go back and color my petals in. And I'm coloring nice and neat. I'm filling in those white spaces. I'm moving in a circular motion, so I'm getting nice full coverage. We're not scribbling here today. Okay, I'm gonna move on to one of these purple ones, and I'm going to take a cornflower blue, and this kind of petal shape is like we're making a teardrop, so I curved out with a point, and look, I'm getting really close to that other flower, but that's okay. If it helps you to turn your paper when you draw, you can. I like to do that. Makes it a little easier on me. Okay, and then I can color those in. You could also add petals in between any type of these flowers if you want to. once you've made all of your flowers, I'm gonna keep it this way. You're gonna go in with a green and start to add some stems. I'm going to take this Granny Smith apple green, and I'm gonna add just a stem to this one because these flowers might run into the other ones. So you'd have to wait and see if they're overlapping or not. So maybe I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a stem. It can be twisty, curvy. I'm gonna make it thicker though by doubling up that line and then coloring it in. Then I'm going to add a leaf. I'm going to start by making a line out, and then I'm going to go a little bit past and do a curved line. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I made this one get skinnier as I got close to the top. And if you want to, you can add some V's on that line for like the veins in the leaf. And then I'm going to color over that lightly so you can still see those. And maybe I want one down here too. I'll add one more. Okay, now for this flower, maybe my petal or my stem was going this way, it would probably run into those flowers. But if I have my stem going this way, I can make it go behind that flower or that leaf. Now it's probably gonna run into there, so I'm just gonna leave it for now, and I would come back to it later. Or in your case, you would just go behind it like I did with my leaf, since you would already have your petals there. I'm gonna assume that we probably wouldn't see the rest of it. Okay, so once you have your flowers done, we're going to glue on our bunny. And actually, you're gonna make your bunny right now, and you're gonna come back to your flowers later. So go ahead and grab out a black crayon or a pencil, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you have your sheet of paper. I'm gonna go in with a Sharpie. If you wanted to use your pencil and do your black crayon second, that is okay. I want to get a good Sharpie. All my Sharpies are dry. Okay. So we have a couple shapes we're gonna use. Now I'm gonna start in the middle of my paper, and I'm gonna start with the nose of the bunny. I'm gonna make a medium-sized circle in the middle of my paper. So I have room on the bottom and I have room on the top. But this circle is about the same size as my fist. Okay, we don't want it to be super small because we want a good sized bunny. Now I'm going to make the bunny's nose by making a U shape. And I'm going to give it a smile by making the letter J and then doing a backwards J right next to it. We got a little bunny smile. From here, I'm going to make the head shape, which can be a little bit tricky. We're gonna start over on the left side a little bit above. So here's the bottom. We're gonna start up a little bit, and we're gonna go up and out and curve it around. Take your time with that. We can pause it if you need to. Now I'm running really low on space for my ears, so if you moved yours down a little bit, you're great. Otherwise, maybe we're gonna have our ears bend, up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and add my eyes now. I'm gonna do a circle here and a circle here. I'm going to add a little circle here, little circle there, and maybe one down here too. And when you get to coloring time or texture time, you can color in this, or if you're using a black crayon, you can go ahead and color it in right now. gives our eyes some highlights. And if you only want one circle in there, you can add one. Okay, we're gonna add texture later, so you don't need to add eyelashes or anything quite yet. I'm gonna go ahead and add my ears. Now I'm gonna show you two different kinds of ears. I'm gonna do a regular ear first. I'm gonna start close to the top of the head, but down a little bit. And I'm gonna go out and bring it back down about halfway. You could make these lines curved if you want to. You could add a second line in here if you want to. So that's like the outer part of the ear, and here's the inside. Then I'm gonna show you how to make a folded down floppy ear. If you want to just have two of these ears, you can. Or we can go up and down, and then we're gonna go about halfway down here, and then we'll add this floppy part by doing a line down to meet it. So it's kind of like making a letter L. Then I can add this extra line here, and I have two bunny ears. On my original bunny, I added some curves around the eye. So I started here and I curved down and around. And then I added some bunny shoulders, just by starting close to the chin and adding some curved lines. Now yours might not be this long, that's okay. Now I said we were gonna add some texture. Now texture is when you look like you can feel something, or you can actually feel something. So there's actual texture and there's implied texture. I'm gonna zoom us in and I'm gonna show us some implied texture. So I'm gonna start by just adding some lines with my black crayon. So if you've already traced, you can go ahead and start doing this with your black crayon. And we're just gonna add some texture lines for the bunny's fur. Now these are random, but they are all vertical lines. That way, it doesn't look like it's getting messy or sloppy. And I'm gonna keep adding those throughout the face, throughout the ears. If you wanna switch and add pink inside the ears, you can. When we get to the mouth, we're gonna do it in a circle. So I'm gonna go around and follow the shape of the mouth. If you wanted to add some whiskers, you could totally add whiskers. If you want to add eyelashes to your eyes, you can totally add eyelashes. Now I did one ring around the mouth, and I'm gonna go ahead and do another ring around the mouth. And I'm gonna keep doing that until I run out of room. Keep going and going and going. There, now my mouth has texture. Now you're going to keep doing this until your whole bunny's filled up, and then you're going to cut your bunny out. I'll zoom us out and glue it onto your flower paper. Now I've got tons of flowers behind my bunny, but I also made sure that there are flowers around my bunny. And if you see empty space before, maybe lay your bunny down before you glue it and see if you need to add more flowers or not to your picture. All right, let's get started.